Hello, Thorndike, Tukwila, and Cascade View. Mr. Kaufman here. Today we're going to draw a landscape, which you can see in the plan right over here off to the side. So I want to ask you a few essential questions before we get started. These are the essential questions about today's lesson. The first question is, what in the world is a landscape? Think about that for a moment. Like a painting or drawing of being outside? What do you see in a landscape? And you can look at the picture over here to get ideas. But what do you see when you think of the word landscape? I think of rivers, mountains, hills, sky, grass, maybe even some animals in that landscape. The next essential question I want to ask you is how do you make something look close and how do you make something look far away? I got this. So when something's really close, like this Lego, it gets much bigger. Big as my head right now. But when you get far away, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller until you can barely see it. I also noticed, look how much detail you can see on this Lego character. But as you get further away, I can't see the details anymore until it's gone. And also, can you name any mountains in Washington, as this is Washington landscape? So with that, let's get started. Washington landscape. Let's get started here. So we're going to shrink the size of the paper again by folding it in half. Just takes so much pencil work to do a full sheet. Half a sheet is perfect. And again, if you got crayons, you got markers, you got paints, feel free to use those, but I'm going to do it all in pencil. All right, first thing we have to do for this Washington landscape is create the horizon line. Now I suggest you go this way. We call that the landscape way in art, although you can certainly go this way. But this way is going to work really well for this lesson. And the first thing you want to do is go down about 3 fingers, make a line. You don't have to use a ruler. The horizon line is somewhat flat, but you look at the earth where the sun goes down, that's called the horizon. And it's not always perfectly flat like that. Okay, so right above that, we're going to create the mountain range, the Cascade Mountains. So you just go up, down. Now, if you want to use an eraser first to kind of plan it out, feel free. Up, down. Try not to make them all the same. There we go. Up, down. All right. Now we're going to throw in a Mount Rainier in the background, a large volcano. See it right outside of Tukwila. And let's add some ice caps to these mountains simply by making a jagged line. Although in the summertime all that stuff melts, except for Mount Rainier. It stays white on the top year round. But we'll put them on all of them. Cool. All right, so now if you want to create a waterfall that goes into a river that comes down into the foreground, what you want to do is look for a low spot in your mountains. Where's the lowest spot? As water flows to the lowest area. And you don't want to start up here. It would look weird if it came from the top. So right here, make a vertical line. It's very far away, so it's small. Put some splashes in there. Alright, so we're going to make the river. So when you make the river, I definitely recommend using that eraser. You want to make an S line. It goes like this, goes curves back to the corner. Curve back to the corner. And just do that with your pencil. Curve back to the corner. Okay. Now comes the tricky part. How to make this look like a river. So you've got a nice curve. You don't want to make it too wiggly. Just big curve back to the middle, back to the side. And what you want to do is you want to start it really small because it's far away, and gradually let this get bigger and really like super big when you get down to the bottom. Like it should take up like half the paper. Seems like that's a lot, but trust me, you want to make it look like it's really coming at you. You want it to be as wide as half this sheet of paper. And so there we go. Coming in like that. Super, super wide. So it could be a road, could be a river. I'm going to turn it into a river. Alright, so I'm going to do what's called a Zig Zag Tree. Call it what you want. This is how I'm going to do them. Start with a vertical line. And I'm going to build these right on the horizon line. And I want you to notice that they are covering the mountains. Trying to create as much depth in this picture as possible. So now what you do is you just go back and forth. This is why I call it a Zig Zag Tree. And you could stop right here because some of these trees have large tree trunks before the branches start, but this one's going to come all the way down the horizon line and both sides. And then you want to fill that whole front, and don't be afraid to cover your mountain because it gives you that sense of space or depth. Start really small at the top and work your way down, zigzagging down. Same species of trees. If you want to do a different species, that's fine, but a lot of these trees look the same because they're dropping pine cones and growing more little trees just like them, whole families. And then adjust. Go back and adjust. If it looks too skinny at the bottom, you can add a few more branches. And you just randomly put them in. So I'm going to use them to kind of frame the picture out. Over here, notice again overlapping because it looks like the tree is closer to you, which is a good tool as an artist to create that thing called space, depth, whatever you want to call it. And I don't want to do it exactly the same. That would look kind of funny. So I'll put them over here. You never have enough trees when you're drawing a landscape. See, like that? Now at the bottom, you want to hit that horizon line. You can go a little bit below the horizon line, so it looks like it's a little bit closer. Whoa. Look at that. Now that tree's closer. Alright. Now, how are we going to transform that into a river? So, rivers have rocks. Rocks have texture. So the water goes around the river, kind of flows. You can put that little flowing water in. And when it hits the rock, it kind of bubbles up like that. Just keeps going, follows it like a pathway. So some of you are saying, well, why didn't you put rocks way up there? Because it's further away, you're not going to see that kind of detail. Rocks behind rocks, always welcome. Good river to go kayaking on. Now we're going to finish this up with some grass. So I'm going to draw the grass blades as if you can see them really close. So we're going to do this in 3 layers. So the grass that's really close to you. It's almost like spiky grass. You don't have to draw it like that, but seems to do the trick. And then when you get about halfway up, you want to change how you draw that grass. So like transition that into a different type of grass, which is actually the same grass, but you want to start to, ooh, now it's like little tiny lines, right? Because as things get further away, they change. Now it's changing into little dashes. You can kind of blend them in so it doesn't look like it just suddenly changes. And then, when you get up to the top, what I like to do is, instead of drawing a texture, I like to do like a little shadow of the grass. You guys getting all this? It's looking pretty good. I think it's time we do the rest in fast forward with a little bit of music in the background to accompany this. And if you get hung up and you can't keep up, just stop the video, or you can play it back. And we'll see you next time here in Virtual Art School.